Ready, go. All right, one more time. Ready, go. Oh, don't start smiling. Look, whenever you are feeling bad, or this is great too, when someone's being real awkward, you can clap them off. I'm telling you, use it. What does it do? It changes your state. You're actually doing something. You're clapping like, wow. All right, maybe I'm not that pissed off. So use it. The second one, which I'm not going to do for you guys, is touchdown dancing. Yeah, already it was like, I didn't even play football. It doesn't matter. You need to have some celebratory gesture or dance whenever you accomplish something. If you do not solidify your reward response by having a touchdown dance or something that is critical to communicate to yourself that I accomplished something, then you will diminish that accomplishment. Okay? So, get a touchdown dance, go on YouTube, type it in. I'm not going to do it for you because my name is cheesy. Oh. Second half of the show. The last one is the hymn. This one works all the time. All the time. They're laughing because obviously it works. These are some of my friends, right? The hymn. How many people have ever been to church? How many people have ever been to a Baptist church? All right, you know how much they sing, right? So when you confirm something, you don't say, mm-hmm. You say, mm-hmm. Now, your turn. Ready? Go. Let's try it again. I'm doing a good job. Go. You guys like music presenter? Go. All right. Give yourselves a round of applause. Go. Triggers. You always want ahead of the game. Triggers. These are things that can change your emotional state in an instant. You have now been programmed. You're welcome. Okay? So next time you're pissed off, now be conscious. Like, don't be in the middle of class. Like, you can't get your test right. You're like, damn, question 12 is hard. Right? Know when to use it. Okay? But here's what I'm getting at. Viktor Frankl said it best, and if you want to read a really good book, Man's Search for Meaning is incredible. He designed a whole new branch of psychiatry called logotherapy. In some ways, suffering ceases to be suffering at the moment it finds a meaning, such as the meaning of a sacrifice. So your loss can now be a sacrifice in pursuit of what you really want to do with your life. Now, you know how to emotionally program yourself. You have a couple of happiness stackers, like I call them. Now we need to get into your brain for the intellectual people, right? How am I wired? Where does this go on? So I have a little experiment. And in this experiment, I'm actually going to trick you. And I borrow this from Daniel Gilbert, a book called Stumbling on Happiness. I take my clients through this exercise because they need to understand that they are prone and programmed to make mistakes. Mistakes are not failures. Mistakes aren't mistakes. Okay? So what I want everyone to do is read this list. Show of hands when you're done. Just put your hand up in the air. So you got some speed readers. Let's go back there. Come on. Now I'm going to take these away. Here's the trick. I want you to tell me which one of these words is not on the list. Yell it out real quick. Gasoline. Very good, you all failed. Here's why. Gasoline is not on the list, you are correct, but neither is sleep. Oh, right? Whoa, what happened? Your brain is so smart that it creates and follows what's called a gist word. Okay? All of these words have to deal with sleep. And your brain automatically infers that. Because gasoline has nothing to do with sleep and the other three do, your brain says gasoline is the wrong answer, let's move on. But you forget that sleep is not actually in the list. So what does this mean? Your brain will automatically fill in details, it invents things, and it creates things. Now, I take a positive spin on that, but why we should know that we're prone to make mistakes is personal development. You have to continually build yourself so that you develop a psychological immune system. So that when little things happen, or when people tell you you can't do things, or you run into whatever the force is that's resisting you, you are strong and aware, not only emotionally now, because you'll be clapping all over the place, but you'll be able to protect yourself intellectually. Here is the key. The healthy psychological immune system strikes a balance that allows us to feel good enough to cope with our situation, but bad enough to do something about it. So that you do do not accept it. You don't accept that defeat. You don't accept that drawback. You say, this happened, and I'm going to move forward after this. Okay? The fact that negative events do affect us, they generally don't affect us as much or for as long as we expect them. So when you are blowing something out of proportion, understand that your brain is doing that over and over again. Ask yourself with more questions. What is the root cause of this? Is this really happening right now? Am I really never going to find a girl as hot as she is? Am I never going to find a guy as perfect as he is? Okay? Challenge yourself and change your focus with questions. What does this do, and what is my message to you with this information? Fail as fast as you can within your risk tolerance. You guys are in college. This is a game with minimal consequences. You want to know what differentiates you from the other kids that are going to be applying for a job is your experience. How do you get experience? I can't get experience, I don't have a job. Join clubs and organizations that take more out of you, that force you to do things that you're not normally going to do. Go fundraise. Go talk to businesses to get donations. And then when you get in that interview situation and they say, hey, what did you do in Delta Sigma Pi, or what did you do in college that's different from other places and other students? Say, well, we started a scholarship. We had our first 5K. We came up with $2 grand in 2 weeks. We started a partnership with Microsoft. We had the first rock band competition. We raised about $600 there. New partners, new initiatives, all kinds of things that give you those anecdotes to say and have across the table, because that's what they're interested in. They're interested in executioners. You are learning the fundamentals right now in college, or maybe you already have. What makes a difference between you and me is how we execute with those fundamentals, how we go in there and play the game, how we go in there and succeed when others fail. Okay? This last point. You don't get what you want in life, you get what you deserve. So your brain must tell you that you've done everything that you can to get to where you want to go. You've done everything that's required to accomplish that goal. Okay? I'm a little scared because everyone today has a Facebook and an Instagram and a Twitter, and Stumble Upon, Dig, and all these other things that update instantly. That's cool. But then they call me and say, you know what, I was supposed to do this 2 months ago and I can't. I say, well, explain to me exactly what you do and how you approach this problem. Well, I go on the internet, and then I pull up my paper, and I start reading, and then I have to have Pandora on so I can listen to music, and then I have to go on Spotify because Pandora sucks now, and then I go on Spotify and so-and-so added a new song, so I go on to Facebook because I haven't talked to them in forever, right? And I don't want them to think I'm not following them anymore, and I don't want to think that we're not electronic friends anymore, so I have to check their Facebook and like something. Which, by the way, Facebook is making us socially retarded, excuse that language, but because now everything that you would do to describe an amazing experience or something that you really cared for and liked is now one click with 4 letters. So please, do yourself the service. Get a dictionary, use a thesaurus, start learning new words so that you don't turn into one of those people that says, oh, I like that, I like that, I like that, and that's it. You're limiting yourself. So, forewarning to the college kids, all right? So what does that bring me to after knowing how to program myself emotionally, knowing how to program myself mentally? What happens now? How do we execute leadership? Everything rises and falls on leadership. If you really want to get ahead, get a book called The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell. It will change your life. Anytime you have an interview and you quote one of those laws, they're handing the job offer to you. You will impress people. You will leave impressions on them that they'll come back to you. I got my job to move to New York a year later because of a couple of laws that I quoted from that book. First one is the law of navigation. This guy, Christopher Columbus, is all over New York City. He's all over the East Coast. Why? Because he was cuckoo for coconuts. And he said, there's a land over there, pretty sure, and I'm also pretty sure the earth is round. And if it's round, then I can sail over there. And what everybody in Europe say? You're fucking nuts, right? Like, we're not going to do this. Like, we're not going to give you any money. Finally, somebody took a chance, said, hey, here's a couple of ships, go over there, and what happened? Now we're here, right? You guys would not be here if he did not have the vision to go around the world. So law of navigation says it takes a leader to chart the course. I'm not going to read you through the laws, but I do want you to write down this acronym if you're taking notes. Plan ahead. This has led to tremendous success for my clients and for myself. Okay, first one. Predetermine a course of action. Lay out your goals. Adjust your priorities. Notify key personnel. Allow time for acceptance. This is a big one because everyone wants instant gratification. And when you get your first no, what happens? Oh, it's done. Emilio said no. I'm not doing this anymore. Who cares? Who's Emilio? right? We can go around them, get what you want done. Okay? Leave time for acceptance. Head into action, expect problems. You need to have rebuttals from when people tell you no, that you can't do something. You need to have plan Bs, adjustments, right? How much room can you have in your critical path for my supply chain people? Always point to the successes, no matter how trivial or small. Give a little car wash clap afterwards, right? Build it up. And then daily review your plan. What's awesome about this, the secret of the small is preparation. Anybody know the 7 Ps? Oh man, I should read books. The 7 Ps. Proper prior preparation prevents piss poor performance. Say that 3 times fast, right? Proper prior preparation prevents piss poor performance. Do your homework up front. Bring me to the next law. The law of process. Okay, leadership is really influence, but how do you make sure that you're continually influencing yourself? You have to understand it is a step-by-step process. Leadership develops daily, not in a day. Albert Einstein said that the second most powerful force on this planet is the power of compounding interest, right? $1 turns into $1 and a penny, and then $1 and 2 pennies, etc., etc., etc. I'm here to tell you today, leadership works the same way. Those disciplines that you enact in yourself will compound over and over and over again. And as you sharpen your leadership skills, you will retain and obtain more than you ever dreamed of by working at it incrementally. Inch by inch is a cinch, yard by yard is hard. 2 ways to the top when you're working with people. Why is this important? Because you have to work with others, right? You never really see rich hermits. Everybody works in a team. Everybody has a company that they run, okay? And you have to understand that there's 2 ways to work with them. Either you break them down so that you were taller than them and the only one left standing, or you lift others up. So you take these skills. That's why I'm here. This is my way of giving back. What I've experienced success with, I want to give to you. Because maybe somewhere in this room, there's somebody that's filled with greatness. Maybe somewhere in this room, there's somebody who wants to do something different with their life. Maybe somewhere in this room, there's someone who's like me, where people tell you, the university tells you you can't do this. Or someone says you can't do that in 2 years. There's no way, it's impossible. On and on and on. And all you do is you say, no, I wrote that down to myself, and I told myself I would do that. I have to. Absolutely have to. And are there other people that are going to help me do that? Yes, you need to work with those people. Develop a culture of lifting other people up. Because if you help enough people get to where they want, you're going to get what you want in return. So a couple of questions you're asking yourself. What incremental steps can you take to complete your mission? Go back through your needs. Determine what you're going to do. Intellectually program yourself. Emotionally program yourself. Get your mission. Start working. What's step 1? What's step 2? What's step 3? Plan ahead. What discipline and rituals do you have to ensure that you will get to where you want to go? When I lost my 90 pounds, I knew I needed to run at least 1 mile a day, and I needed to sprint up the stairs 3 times. Every single day. And after week 1, I was able to run 1.5 miles. And after week 2, 2 miles. On and on and on. Slow incremental movements. And then I was able to get to 7 miles, then 8 miles, then 9 miles. Inch by inch the cinch, yard by yard is hard. When you're building a wall, you don't build the wall all at one time. You lay 1 brick, you make sure it's absolutely perfect. And then you lay the next brick, and you lay the next brick. On and on and on until you have an entire wall. So, bringing me to my closing, what this is, I don't know about, some of my close friends may know this. I'm deathly afraid of elephants. Like, they freak me out, they're hairy, they're gray, their toenails are giant, like that's gross, right? And their trunk, just, gosh, like who invented that? Right? Give them hands, like have a good day. But no, it's just a long nose. So this is me in Laos. We went to an elephant farm, okay? Now, granted, this trip was about conquering fears for me. So we go to an elephant farm and say, I want to ride some giants. I want to ride on the back of these elephants, like straight Tarzan style. That will associate me with pleasure, and I won't be scared of elephants anymore. So here I am, feeding an elephant to a baby and a mom. And you can see, I'm a bit nervous, right? That's the improvement face right there. Just, okay. And I have these bananas, and they're going nuts for these things. But in this picture, I want you guys to see something. This is the mom. Okay, she's about 3 tons, about 7.5 feet tall. Crushed me in 1 step. But you'll notice that the baby is really, really tiny and has a chain on its leg. Now that struck me. Why doesn't the mom, who could kill me with 1 step, have a chain on her leg? And it hit me. Because the baby is still curious enough and adventurous enough to go out and do things. And how do you train an elephant? How do we domesticate these things? Little facts, okay? How is it possible to control them? When the elephant is little, they tie the elephant to a tree. The tree's not going to move. And what happens is as that elephant grows up, it knows that it can only go that distance of the chain. It cannot go off when it wants to. It can't do what it wants. It can only stay pegged to that tree because that is the length of the chain. The mom has already learned this learned helplessness state. She understands that she can only go so far before something happens to her and she gets punished or she's shot. I mean, they have no limits over it. They will shoot the elephant. So, when elephants are young, they're tied with iron chains, iron stakes that are pegged to the ground. As the elephant struggles to shake the chains, decides to give up its fight and curiosity and sense of adventure so it can live within the comfort of the chain. That's learned helplessness, guys. So with your life, maybe there was a time where you decided to accept things. Maybe there was a time that someone told you that you could not do this, and you had to play within these rules. And maybe there was a time that you accepted that. And you can say that at what moment did that happen? You're not happy. All the decisions you have made have left you where you are. If you're not happy, what point did you decide to accept that? Acceptance is something that we use both as a defense mechanism and a sedative to satisfy ourselves. Going back to how we associate things in our mind. At what point did you decide to live within the comforts of a chain? So here's how you break the chain. You refocus. You start setting new goals. Okay? You do something that will make something of you to achieve them. Here are a couple of mine. I have impeccable integrity. This feels cool going up around like this. I feel like I'm playing video games. Knocking fools off, right? Impeccable integrity. Your yes must equal your yes. The problem today, yes doesn't equal yes. Yes equals maybe. Can I get back to you? Sure, but, I don't know, might not, should, right? You guys have a friend that's like, oh, I should do that, I should do that, I should do that. They should all over themselves all the time, right? It's ridiculous. Okay? Make your yes equal yes. One of my other goals, $100,000 income 3 years out of college, doing something that I like and I'm fulfilled with. So, got the job at the gym, started life coaching, crushed that goal. Really easy to do. Maintain a body weight of 260, making sure that I'm on my fitness. My physiological state is at a peak state. Got a personal record today, shout out. Okay, and clean. Never been able to do that much weight because of back problems and all kinds of other variables. Overcame them, hit that goal, and smashed it. Live in a major city and make it. New York City is a big city, Neverland for adults. You have never been around more people and felt more alone in your life. So it's up to me to get out there, network with the right people, come up with some good friends. And if you're a good person, you will attract good people. Lead a life that inspires others to never give up. Losing 90 pounds in 90 days is my first accomplishment, not my last. And I hope that after this talk, maybe there's something that I said or did or showed you that makes you want to go out and tackle the world. Because that's really what you should be doing every single day. Failing to your capacity. Because that failure is not just a failure, it's a learning point. Then you can build and build and build from there until you are so strong, you have thick skin, and you can walk into any situation and be a rainmaker, like we used to say at Xerox. Put him in a situation. Oh, that customer's difficult? Give him a Joe. Have Joe call him. Okay, I'll call him, 20 years old, I don't care. And then what happens? 5 minutes later, we have the call, most uncomfortable situation in my life. But the customer's happy and they renew their business and they buy more machines. You have to learn how to turn things around. Okay? Be an inspiration. Don't just look for it. Alright? Give hope to those who don't have hope and think they can't do it. Somebody took a chance on me. I didn't think I could do a lot of this stuff. I didn't think I'd be up here. I hate public speaking, to be honest with you. Like, I get so nervous and butterflies go crazy and I'm just like, man, I'm going to say something stupid and you're going to come out clapping like idiots, you know, like, what is this stuff, right? But I know somewhere that someone thinks that they can't do something right now. And maybe what I say is going to change their mind. And if that happens, mission accomplished. Realize that the only person that can stop me from doing something is myself. And that goes true for everyone else. Okay? Look at the contrarians that are in existence today. Mark Zuckerberg, people like Elon Musk. Okay? His first order principle of logic is ridiculous. That's how he started Tesla. He said, we can't do this. Batteries cost too much. We're not going to be able to turn a profit in production. And he said, well, tell me how the batteries are made. He went through every single ingredient in these batteries